We are back with our June couple of the month, Bishop O.C. Allen and First Gentleman Rashad Burgess.
So there's a saying that that goes, marriage is having the same argument over and over again. I know we could probably think of a couple that we've had over and over again just throughout the years. Do y'all have an argument that y'all have had over and over again over the years and hasn't changed? Is there that like one major issue that you guys bring to the table? Because I'm sure you are who you are before you met Rashad and vice versa. And our partner tends to bring out all of those issues to help us get over them, hopefully, right? So what is that for you all?
You know, when we've been asked that question, I think some people may struggle with the answer. We actually don't argue a lot.
Okay.
It's the truth. We actually don't. We really don't. Now, there have been seasons in our marriage where we, did argue a little bit. and obviously, we're a married couple, so we've had tension before and all of that. I think for us, and however you want to answer this, our work is finding time. Constantly finding time. I am a pastor, a full-time pastor, and the presiding bishop of an organization.
Right.
And I run a foundation.
Right.
And a whole host of other things. He is a major national leader in this country. And, we have kids and we have so much that we are responsible for. And so at times, just finding the time to just be with each other is a huge
Undistracted time.
Yeah. I'm not talking about time, family time. I'm not talking about that. Obviously, spending a lot of time with our kids is really important. But I think our philosophy was, we don't believe that the kids should be above the marriage. We want to model to our children what healthy marriage is, and that is making each other a priority. And that is constant work. Friday date night. It's constant work. He is a lot of times flying in. I may have a lot going on. And so sometimes you get to the date night and you're tired. You're trying to be awake.
And you want the other one to be the first one to say, you want to skip that?
Oh my God, yes. And so you're just like, where are we going?
So, Bishop, Reverend, Minister, Speaker, Activist, how do you reconcile, or how have you reconciled your sexuality with your religious beliefs and practices?
That's such a huge question. But it's also a very simple question. It's the question. Where do I start with this? I think number one, my Christian faith does not in any way have any opposite perspective to who I am in the flesh. So my theology is totally threaded well with that. I believe that God created us on purpose, with purpose, with intention. So I am here the way that I am on purpose.
Okay.
Completely.
I love that.
Before I ever got here.
Right.
And my Christian faith, the scriptures, the Bible, lets me know that I was created in God's image and likeness.
Right.
So it's not just the image, but the likeness, the properties of God.
Right.
I was created with all of that. So I have no reason to feel bad about myself or have any type of contradiction just because I may be in an era that the social world may have a different perspective. That's the social world. But that has nothing to do with my faith, with God that created me. So that's my first answer to that question. The second part to that is, I firmly believe I am, what you see is the flesh, but I'm a spirit. God is a spirit, so if I'm created in the image of God, then I'm created in a spiritual image.
Right.
Which suggests that it is deeper than these ideas around ethnicity and race and even sexuality, which is a biological and physiological reality. but my spirit, who I am, is my spirit.
Right.
And so I believe that as I understand that my spirit is much larger than what people see, it informs my faith and my religion. That's the best way I could answer that.
So, would it be fair to say that, because I noticed that you have one of my favorite books, Conversations with God. I noticed that you have on one of your tables here, life-changing book for me. Would it be fair to say that the both of you are not the traditional Christian? And I say that because, the traditional Christian, or at least the Christianity that I grew up in, the churches that I grew up in, they would not have a book like Conversations with God in their home.
So let me own, that's my book. that was really transformative for me. So I must say I brought that book into our marriage. I don't want the good bishop to pay for the rebellious husband. Conversation with God.
Is that rebellious though? Do you see that as rebellion?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
I'm saying it's very, very, very tongue-in-cheek.
Okay.
I think for myself, I am very clear that before I was formed and created in my mother's womb, God knew.
Mm-hmm.
And created me in His likeness, called me with great purpose and destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at the work that we're charged with today, it would make sense that He would create me as who I am today, because of what He has charged us to do. Now He's truly, He's a theologian.
Right.
What I am clear is that my gut and my purpose and my conversations with God align itself.
That's awesome.
That is. You speak so. I mean, it's like a poem every time you speak.
It's
so poetic.
That's why he's a speaker.
Right, and I'm like,
what do you say to that young man that comes to you and he is struggling with his sexuality and accepting him for who he is, in trying to reconcile that with his religion or spirituality? How do you get him to be comfortable with who he is and how God made him to be?
Well, I mean, I think that one, recognizing it is a process, right? When we think about all of our life experiences, we can reflect on and understand that, God, what a process we went through. So I think the first thing is to let him know he is okay. And the fact that you're struggling, having a tough time, does not make it bad.
Right.
The second thing is I would tell him what was told to me. And that was that God does not create junk.
Right.
And clearly God created you. And there's no junk in it. And then the third thing I would do is try to connect him with people and with resources like ourselves and like many others who are doing this work that can reinforce and begin to do the sociological work and the theological work to get him to a place of reconciliation. And that doesn't always happen overnight. Oftentimes it takes years.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a lifetime.
And I know it's taking decades, right? It really is. It's a life work, and it's very interesting having children, because one of the things that I am very thoughtful of, and we both are very thoughtful of, is a simple action with our son and daughter can have a lifetime impact. And that negative being a negative action can result in them having to do a lifetime of work undoing that impact.
Please say that again. Say that again.
No, it's real. I think about my own stuff.
Yeah.
And so much of the stuff I had to work through, we really work it through I'm sure for the adults was just a moment. It was a flashpoint.
Don't even remember it.
That flashpoint had this lasting impact that took me sometimes years to work through. So I'm very mindful of that and our parenting, to make sure that in every action that we an interaction and our relationship it's managed and it's done in a way that when they look back, they're not having to work through all this negativity.
Yes.
Because I was mad because I was hungry and had a bad day at work. So I lashed out. You know, and now they're having a lifetime of work because I lashed out. And it really, and so I say that to say that when that young man shows up, he or you know, that young woman shows up, or that person that's trying to figure it out shows up, that they're oftentimes having to do their own self-work through the lens of the experiences of adults who impose their own negative thoughts about who they are. And so it takes a lot of work to get people to work through that and to understand that you're not who mama said you are. You're not who dad, you know, what that name that he called you that was so hurtful. And to understand that there's opportunity, there's purpose, there's greatness, and that God created you just how you're supposed to be. Now the truth is, it doesn't just end there, right? Like, because once you get to that place of reconciliation, it's what you gonna do with it, you know, and how are you gonna fulfill your life purpose and life calling, your what people call their mission, however you want to frame it, their personal vision. You gotta do something with it, because the fact that you were afforded the opportunity to work through that stuff means you gotta do something with it.
That's right. That's right.
That's a very long answer.
Yeah, you minister to these boys out
I
here.
will also say, just to add to that, which I don't need to, but you know, particularly those who grew up in the black church, who grow up in a church experience. You know, I would always encourage young people to read the Bible for yourself.
That's good stuff.
For yourself.
That's good.
And you know, you ask people, well, why do you feel that way? Well, that's what I was taught.
That's right.
Hands down, everybody says, this is what I was taught.
You don't question, and you don't question God.
Yeah, oh, no, you know. And
I like questions.
And I don't think that God is so small that God cannot handle a question.
Right. Exactly.
Many instances in the scriptures, people ask questions.
You
know, God, answer this question. And God answered the question. And so I fundamentally believe that if you grew up in the black church, if you grew up in the church, to not allow people to define the Christian faith. The Christian faith is rooted in Jesus, who was all about love. Love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor.
It's pretty simple.
And Jesus said everything else hinges on that.
Right.
Everything else. If it is not hinged on that, then it's not worth it.
How do you all make love work? You know, you've touched on a lot of things, but sum up in one little nugget that you can tell the people out there how to make one love work.
The way you make love work is to be loving in the work.
The way you make love work is to be loving in the work. And if I'm interpreting this correctly, if you are loving in the work, you can't go wrong with love.
You can.
You can.
That's real simple.
I think we're gonna have to steal.
Just put our names.
At least the first time.
Oh, I mean, that's beautiful.
That
We
was
want to
awesome.
thank you guys for allowing us into your home, being so open with us and candid. You touched my spirit tonight in more ways than you could even imagine. So I want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So let's tell our lovers out there about the Big Black Tie Gala that's going to be taking place on June 22nd, right?
26th.
26th. June 26th.
Friday, June 26th.
So let's tell everybody about that.
So we're very fortunate to be in our fourth annual Black Tie Gala affair. On Friday, June 26th at the Hyatt Regency Atlanta Hotel. People can log on to blacktiegala.org to get their tickets. But it really is an opportunity for us to come together and to honor those in the community as well as allies of the community who really had a real impact and who touched the lives that we touch every single day. And it's just a way to come together, have a great celebration, honor people, and have a good time. And so we're going to have a great evening, Evening of the Stars, and we want each and every one of you, again, to log on to blacktiegala.org get your tickets and come on out and be with us.
Yeah, we encourage you guys to please come meet us out there because we'll be there. Red carpet, VIP reception, dinner, entertainment, awards.
Yeah.
Afterglow is awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
We dance the night away.
Dance the night away, and we're going to be dancing right along with them. So please join us. Again, thank you guys for being such an inspiration to the community. I know you have inspired Juan and I tremendously, and thank you for being personal friends as well. So I'm sure the community appreciates you. I hope you guys learned a lot.
I know I did.
Please keep liking, keep sharing our videos, keep tuning in to Love Works.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Peace.